Hello guys and welcome to this video. Today we're going to be talking to you through how to adjust all of the loot spawns on your Nitrado server. This is for console as well, so we're going to be going through it. I'm going to show you the exact values that you need to look at, what you need to be doing with them, where they need to be going, and then how to save it and actually how to implement that into your server. So let's get started. So the first thing you want to do is, once you've logged into Nitrado, you'll get this bar on the left hand side. You want to go down to File Browser, and you can bring this up. So File Browser will come up instantly. Hang on, it won't come up with that. That's just because I clicked it. So you'll get to this section. So you're going to have File Browser, and then you're going to have XP missions, and then the restart log. The restart log is no different to the event log. It's just telling you how to go through everything that there is, like when you have set reset time. So on our server it's between 12 p.m, 12 a.m, 6 a.m and 6 p.m. So we do it every 6 hours. So that's all that shows. So you want to forget about that instantly. So you don't want to touch this restart log at all. You just kind of leave it be. Once you get into the depths of the server though, we're going to go to DayZ XP mission, and then DayZ offline.Chernarus plus. So now we're going to have a ton of information that's all going to be available to us. So not everything we're going to want to touch and deal with. This is just off of what I've seen so far. So if I remember, so you've got the database here, and then you've got the environment section here. You can change event spawns when you go onto here, but we're going to be looking at the three kind of main areas that you want to touch. So this just gives you an example of everywhere where you can adjust the cars. So an event spawn is something that happens rarely across the map, including helicopter crashes, cars, and I think that's it actually. But there's plenty on here. So you'll see the different types of vehicle right up at the top here: vehicle, civilian, sedan, and then all of the possible spawn points across the map. Vehicle, sedan number 2. It's just all the different colors, variations. So you can change those spawn points. You can adapt those however you want. I'd suggest using something like iSurvive, where you get the map coordinates exactly, and you have to follow this this process here. But you could take it out and make sure that they only spawn in one place if you wanted to. Or you can adapt it a little bit, make it so it's not as predictable for where the cars spawn, make it difficult, make it easier, so on and so forth. But you basically, all you want is the X and Z axes off of the map on iSurvive. So if you haven't downloaded the iSurvive map, I'll put the link in the description below, and you can go on to there and have a look. So this is just an example of the event spawns. So this is how you adjust cars. So what we want to do is go back to offline Chernarus, and try not to change anything whilst you're going through. Only change things that you kind of supposed to change. Be very careful with what you're touching, because it could potentially go into something that you don't really want it to. So then we can go into the environment here, and this is to do with territories. There's not actually that much information that you can get here. This is just like minimum count of zombies in a certain place, minimum count of this, count of herds of this type in this map. So you can add herds of zombies into there. That would be pretty cool. I'm not sure if that works or not yet. I've only played around with this a little bit. I just thought I'd get this out as soon as possible to kind of to allow people to start playing around with their servers a little bit more, and be a little bit more involved in it. So we've got all of these, so we can spawn zombie herds in here, but this is more environmental stuff, cattle, bears. But when we want to go into the environment a little bit more, this is all of the territories for the bears, wolves, animals. So you can change the spawn point. So if we go to bear, for example, up at the top of the screen, so it's got a grazing zone. So you'll have a look here. I don't know why I'm pointing to the screen, because you can't see that. But so you'll have different territory zones, max, minimum, and you've got all of the different territory colors, which is fine. That's great. But realistically, you don't really want to be playing with the territory zones. We want to go into the database section, and this is where you really start changing everything. So To start with, we're going to go to events, because I can't remember what economy does, but let's have a look in a second. Yeah, so this is like zombie spawns, animal spawns. So the main things that you want to look at here are, I've got this post off of Reddit actually, by MisterSprayFatality, so appreciate the post, dude. This definitely helps. So Nominal right here is how many items should spawn on the map, the effects and the restock of them. The restock underneath here, it says 0, so how long in seconds something will be out before respawning. So how long does it take for them to respawn in the server? You can put a delay to that. Safe radius is 200 meters, so basically whenever you go outside 200 meters, they disappear. So once you've gone outside of those 200 meters, or they won't be attracted to you or afraid of you, depending on what the scenario is. So if it's a bear chasing you, if you get out at 200 meters, they're probably not going to follow you. Distance radius, I haven't figured out what that one is yet, but we're just going to kind of look at that a little bit more. And then we got 2 more here. So the min is the minimum amount of the item on the map. So there's a minimum of 2 deer on the map at all times. But this is, let's be real, this is probably 2 deer herds, so it'll be a herd of deer. So there'll be 2 herds of deers on the map at once, but a max of 4. So that's obviously minimum amount, maximum amount, and that's probably the herd as well. So when you're looking through that, you've got the goat here. You can go through for all of them, and the cost on here right now, I've just got the details on my phone in front of me. The cost, where it comes up at the bottom here, it just literally says, where's it gone? Active children. Okay, so for this one there is no cost, but we'll get into the cost in another section. So this is how you change the animal spawns. You go to database and then events.xml. So we're going to go back to database. I'm just going to jump into economy quickly because I can't remember what it is. I'm pretty sure you don't. Yeah, so this is just general information. I haven't touched any of this yet because I don't understand how to change the economy. I don't want to mess with that too much. So that's why I've left it for now. But you can go into globals, is just messages. So that's any messages that appear, global events that happen. So you can go on to cleanup time, respawn attempt, loot value. It's just the generic filings for the global thing. So max count is 200, cleanup avoidance 100. So you can go through this and really get into grips with exactly how it works, respawn types, things like that. But basically the 2 main things that you want to adjust on this section are the types and the events. Events are animal spawns. You can also get some of the event spawns like Christmas trees and stuff in there. And then messages are just generic messages that happen throughout the server. And then types, this is where we're going to go like into the depth of everything that's there. The types here, this is where you get all of the loot. You can specify exactly what it is, whether you want attachments, guns, everything. So this is where it's at, really. I say that and it won't load. Come on, load. There we go. It's quite a big directory. There we go. Here we go. So we've got everything here. We've got AK-101 straight away. So for the AK-101, it's still loading because there's thousands of items in the game. But let's say the AK-101. So the AK-101 there, we've got the, typical. Yeah, there we go. So we've got the minimum amount is 0, the maximum amount is 1. Why is it playing up now? There we go. Right, I couldn't read it then for a second. Oh, this thing is properly lagging today. It's actually easier to do it on your phone than it is the desktop. I'm just going to say that. If you get the Nitrado app, this is much easier to do. But just be careful where you're touching your thumbs. So AK-101 black, you can change all of the counts there. And what I'll do is I'll put the what each section does in the description below, because I think that'll be more helpful than you having to go back to each section in the video and go through it all. So this is where you want to be playing around with stuff. As you can see, it's still loading right now. There's a lot of stuff in here. This is just the AK-47 section or the AK-74 section. So you've got the handguard just down here. It's taking so long, sorry. So the 74 is here. AK-101 green. So I think, I'm not sure, but that looks like you can spawn in different variations of those guns, which would be quite interesting. I haven't done it yet because I'm still in the process of fixing everything for our server. We're going to be doing like increased bear spawns, increased wolf spawns, making it a little bit more difficult to survive. But we're going to increase the natural resources, so like apples, pears, all that stuff. That will be increased more, so we can survive off the land rather than canned beans. So you'll see here, lifetime is how long it lasts, pretty much. Restock is the minimum of 5 minutes until one's taken before it respawns, and then you got the minimum, the maximum. So it's pretty average. I think in this one, yeah, see, it's -1 because it's the AK-74. They've got like a very small spawn point. But yeah, tier 4, tier 3, and you can go into how that all, like where it spawns as well. I haven't figured that out yet, but I will release another video in the coming days once I've kind of got to grips with how that all spawns. But yeah, so this is where you want to be, guys. It's too laggy to go through it exactly, but let's just use the AK-74 as an example. So I'm just going to reiterate, the nominal is how many items should spawn on the map. So there's a maximum of 10 AK-74s in the map at one time. So if you change that to 1,000, there'll be 1,000 in the map at one time. You'll have a ton of AK-74s and they'll be all over the place. Then we go to lifetime, which is just how long they last without being taken. I don't know what the statistic is there, whether it's seconds, minutes, hours, I don't know, days, not sure. The restock is how long in seconds something will be out before respawning after being idle. So that's obviously quite important. The minimum is how many minimum are in the server at one time. And then the cost, which once again, here we go. So the cost is priority during restock and cleanup. So if you put this as a massive priority, then more and more of that will be about sorry, in the server at that one point, and you'll be able to get involved. So hopefully this helps, guys. If you have any questions, drop them in the description below. Drop them in the description below. I will put the link to how to get onto this and just a brief description in the description below, including a link to iSurvive so you can get the coordinates. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you like the video. We'll be doing more videos like this, a little bit more description, a little bit more like content focused as well from DayZ. So really looking forward to seeing you guys there. And yeah, if you need any help, give me a shout. Thanks, guys. See you next time.